right?
I think this is just gonna be a mid TA and a carry lash. I don't think they are gonna do a silent TA. I don't think this player plays silent TA. This once guy. He plays he pretty much just plays a lot of standard carries. But I think he likes to fight a lot, so this lash might be a good adjustment for CDAC, but I think we'll have to see. Like I agree with Gods. I don't really see the synergy between the heroes, you know. Like usually on lash you want some kind of HP buff, you know. It can be a save, it can be a heal, it can be anything. They don't have that. And usually on TA you want like good solid team fight, good solid lockdown. And they don't really have that either. Like Hoodwink and ET are both like skill shots, sort of. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of a weird draft coming out from CDC.
They're like
To me.
4 heroes that want to play very kind of individual games. Like they're not playing with any one obvious hero right now, and I feel like it's kind of different story with MagMa a bit. The lifesteal looks really good. You know, you're gonna be blocking out most of the Leshrac damage output. A hero that can actually just run in and try and burst down a Leshrac. The physical damage is something that Lesh is pretty susceptible to. So I like this pick a lot for MagMa. It feels like they've got some solid lanes if they want. I think this is probably just gonna be a Death Prophet mid as we go into this draft more. Like you can run Enchantress plus that kind of tanky offlaner, that initiation vehicle, and then have just Death Prophet play mid with the Lion Lifestealer in the safe lane.
Yeah, and I guess CDEC are on that kind of train of thought as well, getting rid of the Sand King. There's no Slardar as well, obviously one of the best laners against Lifestealer, and I feel like CDEC, you know, kind of needs something that's going to tick a lot of boxes for them right in this final pick, and it's going to be pretty hard for them considering the amount of offlaners that have been called for them to try and tick these boxes to try and tie things together. So what do we think that it's you know, going to kind of be for CDEC, Ponlo? What would you like them to try and pick up to try and at least marry up a few of these heroes? Might not be all of them, but at least a few of them.
Oh no, is it gonna be a Brood Mother? Oh, it's not banned.
Oh.
What, for CDEC?
Yeah. I mean, it's a life stealer. It's a life stealer lion. It's like, and you have a Hoodwink. Hoodwink is pretty good against with Brood Mother in the lane.
Mm.
Oh man, I don't want to see a Brood Mother though.
Last big Brood. Here we go.
It's too early. My time to see a Brood Mother, man.
Yeah. What else? Nothing else like immediately stands out as being like great options.
Life stealer, huh?
Unless they want to do the Leshrac off lane with the Hoodwink, but that seems a bit odd. MagMa do ban Morphling as if they're a little unsure of where these lanes are going because they ban an off laner, then they also ban a carry. And they pick themselves a Doom. Okay.
Ooh.
There's your tanky off laner. Or potentially mid laner. Some of these Chinese teams do run a bit of mid Doom. It does feel like it's more likely going to be in the off lane though.
Yeah, this is surprising because this is something that Black was talking about quite a lot yesterday, that he feels like this is the hero that should be basically banned every single game for a lot of these Chinese teams, is this Doombringer. And the fact that it's gone all the way to the end here for Team MagMa just feels good, right? Like they've got a lot of heroes that they can doom, and you know, TA really doesn't like being doomed. A lot of those extra ticks on the refractions don't feel good. But is this still an okay Broodmother game, Ponlo? Is CDC still feeling about the dirty Brood this early in the morning?
I mean, it looks like a Brood Mother game to me. there's literally no spider clear at all. The lane is, I mean, it gets to a point where the Lifestealer can't even stay in the lane. And their heroes, you know, they have a TA, they have a Lash. Like, TA especially is like super independent and it's like very carryish, and you have the Deso. If you have a hero like Brood to play the front of the fight or take the area around the Roche pit, your TA can just get a Roche super quickly. Oh, I really don't want to see it though. But I don't see any other pick. Oh, they're just gonna go with a Pos 3 Lash.
Okay. No, it's still a Pos 1 Lash.
Oh, what?
Beyond picks
It's
up
a
the
Pos 3 Ursa.
Unless they're just like changing roles, but that seems the least likely of those. But yeah, Pos 3 Ursa. What would Death say about this one, Ponlo?
He would say if he's
is he
if he knows
or is he happy about this?
11,000 people are watching, he will say no comment. That's what he would say.
The other one.
I mean, it does have the good one-to-one matchup against the Lifesteal, right, Gods? Like that's the only thing that's kind of coming to my mind. And you get early Blink Dagger, maybe a Diffusal Blade, and it could feel okay.
Yeah. I feel like I'm curious how, even though it is Pulse 3 Ursa, I feel like they should be giving it maybe some more farm priority, and the Leshrac needs to go for more of those utility items. Like, I don't think Ursa, even in the 3 position, can go for any kind of utility items. You mentioned, yeah, like the diffusal. You still have to go for typical Ursa items, whereas Leshrac, I feel, has more builds available that you can go for. So once he's going to have to play maybe hyper, once he's going to have to channel his inner offlaner this game to make this Leshrac work, I feel like.
Well, lads, we're getting ourselves prepped and ready for game number 2. We've seen the drafts, Ponlo. Where do we feel like this game's going to go? What's your prediction?
Oh, I mean, CDEC, you know, we spoke about it previously. They go for these funky drafts, man. But I don't know. I personally don't think this is gonna be enough. I think I will side with MagMa for this one again.
All right, what about you, GoDz? You feeling the funky drafts for this one, or you still feel like MagMa's got it over them?
I'm not down with the funk. I'm gonna keep it, keep it classy. Stick with my old school. I don't know, jazz. What's the opposite of funk? Jazz is kind of funky. I don't know. I'll go with some,
classical music?
2020 pop or something. Oh yeah, classical. Yeah, give me some classical. Give me some Beethoven. That's me. I'm going MagMa.
All right, well, let's see if Beethoven can carry GoDz through this prediction, or whether or not we're going to go to a game number 3 with a little bit more funk coming in from the Chinese region. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it with GoDz and Ponlo here for game number 2 between MagMa and CDEC.
Alrighty. Thank you, Fluke. Here we go. Game 2, MagMa looking like they're in a good position based on obviously being up a game, but also draft-wise, and everything we're saying seems to indicate that they have themselves in a pretty good position to take this series 2-0, Ponlo.
Yep, I'm pretty interested to see where they're gonna place their supports. Whether this Ench is really gonna be the one laning against the ET. Because maybe now you change your approach on MagMa. Maybe you lane your stronger support against the Ursa so that you shut down the Ursa's game.
Yeah.
30
Yep.
seconds.
So that you don't have to deal with this like three carry game from CDC.
Yeah. Are you worried about if CDC have a good lane stage with this 3 carry, does the game look really good for them, or do they need more things to go right?
I feel like all they can do is take a Roche, and then after that, I'm not sure that they're gonna be able to take fights against the. I mean, as long as the Doom, he buys a Blink, he buys BKB, he dooms his TA, the DP doesn't die straight away. Ench buys a Holy Locket maybe, and they just kite out the fight. They make sure that CDC can't just burst their heroes with the physical damage. I think MagMa have a better team fight.
Is this like a response in some ways to the Doom coming out, where it's like, okay, someone's getting Doom, let's make sure we have 3 scaling cores, or was there more to it, do you feel?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of the reason. I mean, also because of the lane, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, that concept is kind of like I know it's a known concept, but I'm not very sure that I'm entirely on board with that concept of just pick another carry, lol. Like, I don't feel like it should work like that, but we'll see. Maybe this Ursa will become the carry, and this Lash will become an offlane. So.
I mean, if that logic was entirely true, you'd say, well, why not just pick 5 carries then? You need to have a
simple math.
balanced draft. Well, MagMa trying to get the lanes they want, it feels like. They are hovering around this bottom lane. Lifestealer trying to scout for any Radiant wards. Actually, there is one there, so he was spotted, as was the rest of MagMa. And
The battle begins.
CDC will get a good idea of what's going on.
Yep, GZY on the Mars, on the Doom. He's already preparing to get the Devour on the creep, hiding in the trees.
Wants to start that cooldown early and get that kind of level advantage, and whoop, comes in, grabs a range creep. Uh-oh, here's the ET. They're going to get some maybe damage out on this. Doesn't go for a split earth, though. A bit surprised to see Leshrac there not skilling anything to try and punish that one.
Yep, maybe. I mean, the guy is platinum on Lash, actually. This once. It's a Lash expert.
Okay. Yeah, they
knows
showed
how he's
this.
doing.
Yeah, on the loading screen, I think his lifetime record on the hero was like 150 wins, 100 losses. So he's played a lot of this Leshrac, whether it's carry or mid and pub games, I can't say, but he knows what he's doing. And he goes to level 1 Lightning Storm to secure those last hits.
Yep. Pretty interested to see how this lane will pan out because of this Ange countering the ET. I think it should be pretty. It's gonna get tougher and tougher for CDEC until the Lash gets level 6.
Where are you going?
Yep.
That's where they
Easily
can
you
start
see
to
there.
turn it around.
Ench just purges it off the second the ET gets the damage. No more damage for you, and that's
Aw,
something the ET...
Dude,
Not
the
that
Doom has the ice armor, man. Oh my
Oh.
god.
Wow.
5
guess-
armor.
That's pretty nice, particularly against the ET who's looking to come in and do physical damage to you, so he's a happy camper.
Yeah, it's
Some games
balance.
is Doom, you know, you just get the right creep.
Yep, I think Alpha Wolf or something would have been pretty neat too, so the Ange can do more damage because the Ange can pretty much freely hit in this lane, non-stop
Yeah.
like a Gatling gun. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, we're seeing that. And already with the Centaur, the neutral camp having spawned, this lane looking pretty good. And some of these other lanes, we'll have to see how this Ursa does as far as pressuring top. He is going in aggressive with the Bushwhack. Wants this Lion, and with the Acorn Shock follow-up, it's going to force a Hex. And this Hoodwink Ursa lane is looking pretty potent as far as pressuring this Lion Lifestealer goes.
Yeah, I would say the Radiant definitely have a advantage in this top lane, and yeah, like I was talking about earlier, they didn't put the Ange to lane against Ursa, so I'm sure MagMa know that CDEC are stronger in the top lane, so they're just gonna look to farm on the Lifestealer and just try to. I think the Lion needs to save his spells and just play defensively. I don't think they can ever really go on the Ursa. I mean.
And even with this Orb of Venom, it doesn't really feel like the offensive potential is there. As Hoodwink doesn't land the Bushwhack there. One thing you can always do is look for that Quelling Blade to break that tree.
Yep, they actually cut so many trees off in the lane on Shylock. It's a pretty good strategy.
Yep. Making it easy for this Hoodwink to play this off lane. No real good openings, and particularly, yeah, that's what the Ursa's relying on to go for these aggressive plays or even just kills in general, is having that Bushwhack Acorn Shot coming into play.
Yeah, Beyond actually went for the boots instead of the Orb of Venom on the Ursa is flying out right now.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting.
Interesting. That's you when you said no comment before about the offlane Ursa. That's another commentator word we use when we say stuff is interesting.
Interesting.
Usually it means we don't. We're not so. It's like basically you don't want to make a bold statement and say you don't like it, but you're gonna be like it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I see TZY Mars by Orb of Corrosion,
Yeah.
and owning the shit out of the Spectre, you know. And then I see this Ursa into Lifestealer and he buys some boots. I'm like, interesting. I'm not very sure if it's the best item to go for, but we'll see. Like the Amber Fluffy hat last game, you know. We'll see.
Call it how you see it. It's bad. It's bad. No, it doesn't mean it's bad. It means you think it's bad.
Maybe I'm bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, you know, when the ex players start casting, it's like, oh man, you're it's like you've dropped down a tier on the the pyramid of Dota, of the Dota world. You know, players are at the top. You know, casters and analysts. We're below the players.
Did you just call me an ex-player, God?
Well, you're casting right now, right?
That hurts me
No,
in my
you're-
Meow, man.
I'm kidding. You're a current player. I heard you've missed some rehearsals because you're doing scrims and stuff. You know, you've got your priorities straight. As a player, no, as a commentator, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to be a bit more reliable.
Fired.
Yeah. I'm not sure we'll see you again today after this series, Ponlo. I think we're done with you. Or that's just the schedule for today's broadcast. You know, who knows which one it is, but
Who knows? I probably signed
You
an
don't-
NDA. I can't speak about it.
yeah. If you guys don't see Ponlo after this series, you know, something may have gone down. But what's going down is a pretty slow early game. Neither team doing anything crazy. It does feel like TA's having not crushing this mid lane by any means. Quelling Blade TA, I feel like this is we're seeing a lot of these ranged Quelling Blades, but I feel like I haven't seen it on the TA as much.
True. Because I mean, usually TA doesn't really like the damage to last hit, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I
interesting.
want to point out something that the Ench is doing, like around this siege timing. Like people need to learn to do this. When you play Ench, or you need to come to your mid lane around this time and pressure the mid tower and play with your mid. Your mid is the strongest hero on the map right now, and as an Ench, you are also really strong. Like look at how much damage they're gonna do to this tower because of this Ench move.
Yeah, level 2 enchant means this creep has an extra plus 30 damage. They're keeping the siege wagon alive. Death Prophet happy to tank it up, but here comes the Hoodwink rotation with a bushwhack. Dust has to be a little bit careful, but he's got the Spirit Siphon. Now he changes target onto that Hoodwink, who is going to pay the price for the rotation. Maybe saves the mid tower, I guess you could say. As they do lose the siege creep in the end, Dust is about to heal up. The X isn't wearing off, but yeah, that's a overall win for MagMa, it feels like.
Yep. Huge macro play coming out from MagMa that I personally also learned a lot from. Like when I started to play in China at the start of the year in IGV, this was something that my coach like drilled in me. Around this 5 to 6 minutes, every single game I had to think about what I can do, what I can provide to this mid siege wagon, and how I can play to it. And China teams do this really well.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, they did that with just in a 2 versus 3. Both CDEC supports rotated, while Enchantress was the only like MagMa support. Uh-oh, Dust in some trouble. As a regen room, but no mana for Spirit Siphon. Yeah, it's in the backpack. And he was also 7 mana short of a Spirit Siphon, so... Oh. Hey, don't click that Death Prophet Observer. He's 9 mana short, that's what I meant to say.
Math.
Look, maths is hard. I say 7, I mean 7. As Stomp is going to land onto the Enchantress. Bushwhack coming in. This Hoodwink's definitely being pretty annoying with these Bushwhacks whenever these rotations happen.
Yep, but I feel like for CDC, right, like right now, it sort of feels like they're trying to overcompensate for already messing up. They were not ready for the move at 5 minutes, and now their TA is having a shit time, so they're like just trying to do whatever they can to help him, right? But I mean, at least the other side lanes are doing pretty fine as well. The Ursa is doing really well against the Lifestealer, and the Lash is also pretty much free farming at this point. The Doom actually TP'd top.
Yeah, this is a bit of a surprise rotation, it feels like. Who's going to go bottom? Enchantress looks to TP on down there. Leshrac has level 4 Edict, so this tower will melt fast. Luckily, Enchantress is here to steal a melee creep and tank some of that Edict.
Yep, super weird move from the Doom. I'm sure they should have just killed the Lash instead of doing this, but they're gonna try.
Oh, baits the Enrage with a fake Earth Spike, but that's worth it for the Ursa just to stay alive, so... Not really.
Yeah, I'm sure he's yelling to his team, guys, Doom is top, what the heck? And they're just diving bottom.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is this guy doing? So setting things up for an early tower. They're going to come in with an Exorcism to try and turn this one around. They'll get one kill.
Yeah. And TA is hitting mid as well with DD rune. Wow, CDC.
Right.
Everything's going their way right now.
This Doom's just kind of in the trees at top. Like, he's just been hiding. He's going to finally come out and get the Doom. Oh!
What?
Swing and a miss.
I think you guys are forcing it just a little bit too much, huh?
Yeah. It's Doom. This hero should just, you know, he farms. Get that Devour going.
Like, I mean, if the Doom is positioned bot lane, there's no way this Lash can edict the tower, right? They just Doom him, the Enchantress comes in with the Enchant, and they just kill him. The TP can TP as well, and they can just kill the Lash and take the bot tower. Instead, they try to make this like really unrealistic move on the Ursa top. I mean, the Ursa can just press ulti, right? Even if you're gonna Doom him, he ultis and the Doom is so short. It was quite a bad macro play, I think, coming out from MagMa. Yeah. They lost a lot from
that. And that was a lot of wasted, like, TZY was just sitting in those trees for like a full minute, it felt like, so time he could have spent farming. He is still top of the net worth, but this is Doom. This is a hero that often is like 1,000 gold ahead of everyone, that kind of alchemist-like level of farm in the early game.
Yep, and now the Lash is hitting his peak. The Lash has a hood, has arcane boots, maxed out Edict. Once he's gonna go to the top lane, take the top tower in one swift Edict.
Yep,
bang.
Nobody's to defend this. And there's no glyph as well, so this is going to be an easy tier 1 tower. Couple of quick towers back to back.
Yep, really weird by MagMa. After the first successful move from the Ench and the DP mid lane at around 5 to 6 minutes, everything after that for the past 5 minutes has been pretty sus.
I am curious, how do you see this Ursa playing out as a 3 position? It looks like he's got a Blink queued up as his first major item. Like, what do you feel like this Ursa is going to be able to contribute this game?
I think you just have a super strong mid game time after you take the Aegis and you have Blink. You just commit into the fight and you make all the attention go on you, right? You cause all the attention to go on you, and even if you die twice, your carry or your mid is able to clean up the fight. And he's just gonna do just that. He's gonna go into Roche right now. He has a Morbid Mask. It's gonna be easy Roche for them. There's no EXO yet. Yeah, the DP is not enough. Doesn't have enough mana to contest this. And the DP is their strongest hero right now. So.
And in Roche we go. Leshrac will help tank it for the Ursa a little bit. It should be pretty straightforward.
One thing I want to point out is that eventually this Ursa is going to get a Nullifier, right? And this Nullifier is going to be super good against the DP. Like they can just one Bushwhack and this DP can die. Bushwhack, Nullifier, bang bang bang. Mel hit, he dies. So
Yeah.
at least now with an offlane Ursa, somehow they have a solution to the enemy heroes, I think.
Yeah, Nullify is not the most expensive of items, which is one of the nice things about it. As rotation mid, MagMa, Yemian catches out the Lesh, throws out the Finger of Death. Is the follow-up damage going to be there? Doesn't look like it with the Hood. He's going to survive through it. It's going to force out a Doom. Does still get the kill on TZY, but they need to commit a bit extra to get it.
Yep, kind of overstepping on the Lash there. Maybe they need to... Radiant need to deward the sentry around the mid lane so that their TA traps can cover them from running. If they have TA traps scattered around the mid lane, it's going to be much easier for this Lash to touch the mid tower.
It could be MagMa themselves who want to make a play on some of these towers. They've got Exorcism back up, yet to take a tier 1 tower. They made that really nice move earlier on the tier 1 mid with the Enchantress, but since then things have been pretty quiet. Is this game okay pace for them if they're just sitting back and farming when they've got heroes like Lifestealer and Doom, or do you think they need to make some moves?
Watching this MagMa lineup reminds me of how Neon played. It feels like some parts of your draft wants to play fast and some parts of your draft wants to play slow. I feel like everyone on MagMa wants to play fast, but their Doom wants to play slow. Even though he has a BKB, he can run into the fight, but he's still not that effective of a hero right now. He doesn't have a dagger. He can't initiate with the Doom on the Lash and the TA. So it does feel like, I mean, MagMa are gonna go for a tier 1 bot, but this is already a bit too late at 30 minutes. Like you should have taken this tower way earlier with your heroes that you have, with the Ench and the DP. So I think CDEC are pretty happy with how the game is going.
CDEC even get another glyph. They have,
Wow,
gosh, they just sniped the Lion.
he didn't cast a single spell.
They do end up, and the tower gets denied. Okay, Lion just gets popped by the sharpshooter, and CDC, they don't defend the tower itself, but they get the deny, and they also find a kill. So that's, again, more good play coming out of this CDC squad. Perhaps this is what they needed and didn't have in game 1, which is a more wonky draft.
They need the funk.
This is where they shine.
I think CDEC right now are gonna... Oh,
Bottom rune, bit of a clash to the Ursa. Looking just out there. Even with this Aegis, doesn't look like he wants to fight as Lifesteal shows up, just completed an armlet. They're all caught by this Veil, so a lot of magic damage happening. Boosted up here. The Ursa follow-up is there as well, as Ursa just goes blinking in. Looking for Dust, who's on the run, gets a nice silence out. The sharp shot shooter not going to do enough as the Infest is there as well for some extra health as Ursa. Still not done, still playing with this Aegis. Forces out a BKB on Doom as they kill the Enchantress. CDEC, they want blood, and this time they'll get it.
now they have 2 bloods. Yeah, but CDC, no EXO is down. There's no way MagMa can fight without EXO. So they just run in. They don't care. This Ursa with Aegis, pulse tree. Even if I die, I don't care. I will go in. I'll initiate. I'll force all the attention on me. I'll force the opponents to turn back and use spells on me, while my teammates throw the sharpshooter. They throw the Echo Storm. You know, the TA throws a trap. Lash throws a Lightning Storm. They're just chasing and chasing, and that's the power of this draft when the EXO is down. As long as MagMa can't turn back and fight, yeah, they're not gonna get a single kill.
Blink in.
For Lion.
Oh, poor Lion is gonna be okay maybe? Dodges the Echo Stomp, so should be fine now. Gets himself back to safety. One thing I do find interesting that we've seen a bit in the China qualifier is that, you know, we see this Hoodwink going for the Veil. Yesterday we saw Red Panda on the Brew going the Veil. It feels like an item I did not see at all in other regions, but here in China I feel like I've seen it multiple times in different games on different heroes.
Yeah, I think in general the Chinese support players are more inclined to buy items that support the entire team. They're also more inclined to buy stuff like 4 stuffs and glimmers and stuff like that compared to the other regions.
Except for FY and Marana.
True.
Okay. No, the
No,
Marana's all going Yule Scepter here, which is interesting. Because I feel like the other regions I didn't see much Yule's Marana. It was much more, I guess, those with Marana's in other regions with T-Minus.
Yep, I was always getting flamed actually in my Chinese team because they always ask me, Ponlo, 你买追风吗? Which translates to, Ponlo, are you buying eels? Then I always say no, and they're always like, why you don't want to buy eel, ah? Oh, my Marana.
Lifestealer with the armlet coming up. He's charging in. This Leshrac in some trouble. Gets blown up and gets punished for going for those supports. So they kill the 2 supports, but then they pay the price. But it's interesting. Like every region has their ideas about Dota, where it's like, if you're, like you said, it sounds like if you're on a team in China, it's like, to some extent, if you don't follow the ideas of that region, then you're doing something wrong. And I don't think that's a China specific. I think that's every region where, you know, there's a thing that's meta in NA or Europe. The expectation, if you're on the team with them, that they're surprised if you don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the China Dota culture as well is just generally a bit more like hierarchy based. So it's a lot about monkey see, monkey do. So whatever the top players are doing, usually I think the players will respect it a lot compared to other regions where you have people like Thompson, you know, out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm just gonna do whatever I want anytime I want to do it. I don't care who you are, you know.
We even see it in the team structure. Like every team, almost more teams in China than any other region have their coach who's doing all the drafting, and it feels like the coaches in China have more say and more power over the team than maybe in other regions. Do you feel like that's true?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they literally have like, they pick certain things, like they pick a pause 4 that can stack instants, and they tell the player your job is to stack instants this game. And then they tell the pause 5 player at 5 to 6 minutes, I want you to play around the mid lane when your Lash is very strong, or when your DP is very strong, when your TA is very strong. They say things like that, or they tell the pause 5 player, like, this lane, maybe you buy Hydras, I want you to play for the stability of the lane. I don't want you to do too much in the lane. Don't try to win the lane, you know? Like, I feel like that sort of conversation is a lot more normalized in Dota, Chinese Dota culture compared to other regions.
Yeah, a lot more, maybe kind of micromanagement, but like positive. Like it's very much like they're trying to, you know, they're doing 6v5 Dota, but obviously the 6th player is not playing in the game itself. But they're trying to make full use of that 6th person when it comes to their ideas having an impact on the game. Nice TA find. That was a good smoke move from MagMa. They get a deep ward in the mid lane. They pick off the TA, and doesn't really feel like CDEC are making a response anywhere on the map right now, but it is still CDEC who have a gold lead. They've kind of hit this scary item timing, and with next Roche coming up in 1 to 4 minutes, that could be a problem for MagMa if they're not ready to contest it.
Yep. But it's really just gonna take all it takes is 1 kill on this DP during the EXO, and it's just gonna blast the game wide open for CDEC because they have so much tower damage. They have Edict, they have TA. They can take like 2 tier 2s with just 1 DP kill, I think. So Dust has to be really careful on the DP not to mess up the fight.
Hey, how you going?
Like all they need is 1 Echo Stomp, right? There's no save on MagMa. 1 Echo Stomp, one lucky Echo Stomp on this DP into a Bushwhack, into a Ursa hitting him with the TA Blink Mel hit. Like this DP is dead in 2 seconds.
Yep. One thing MagMa may start using is this Infest initiation. They can invest in this Doom who's got a Blink Dagger, or even Alliance, so they've got multiple ways to start these fights, but for now it's CDC looking to start a fight themselves. They've smoked up, making their move to kind of clear out this enemy jungle around that Roche pit a little bit. They blink in, the Lion gets the Hex out. So with the Enrage is up as Doom gets caught. There's the Echo Stomp, but it's just on the Doom and it's used defensively as Beyond is in some trouble now. He's in full retreat, can't blink out for a couple more seconds at least, and he's taking damage. Needs to be bailed out, and the Leshrac will do it, and a great split earth into a sharpshooter. The Lifestealer gets blown up. Doom still does not have his ultimate. He gets a nice hoof stomp out of the Yule Scepter, and it looks like with the X's, they should be able to bring down once here. The damage is just going to be enough with the Spirit Siphon too. They trade Leshrac for Lifesteal, which is actually carry for carry here.
Yeah, really careless by the Lifestealer, I think. Oh.
In mid. They're not done, but the X's are still going. They want more, but they've lost the line in the process, and Dust may have overcommitted a little bit here. Running out of Spirit Siphon charges, just the one left. They've got to kind of treat and make sure they're cutting their losses here.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what Shylock was doing on the lifestealer. I'm sure he saw the Lash. He saw the Lash winding up the stun. I think he just didn't respect the amount of damage that the sharpshooter was gonna do with the Veil. 900 damage plus Veil, that's like 900 damage before Veil, I mean. It's like 1.1k damage or something. Lifestealer got sniped.
It does. Not looking to let them just take Roche for free. Here they come. This time they have Doom, but no Exorcism, so feels like MagMa have to be able to find that ideal team fight with all their ultimates up, and I think CDEC knowing this, that's why they want to force this Roche, or at least force the fight. Exorcism was a big part of that damage output, and
TA mustn't get doomed here. TA mustn't get doomed.
Blink in,
He got
full
stomped by
stomp.
Sinvis.
They didn't have a sentry. The sentry gets planted afterwards. I don't think they quite realize, as Lion needs to be careful not to get caught out here. They go on the Ursa, there's the Infest out. The BKB Doom doesn't find a Doom target right away, but they take out the Ursa, who does have buyback. Not sure MagMa can take Roche themselves without the Exorcism, so Ursa doesn't actually have to buy back. He can just wait the respawn out. Problem is Exorcism will be back up by the time he's alive.
Yep, maybe CDC can start doing the Roche when the Ursa is about 5 seconds, so that the Exo is not up yet. I actually think that they can do it. Now that the Doom has no BKB, but maybe they won't. Just a safer play not to, I guess.
Seems like they're happy to kind of reset things a bit. Death Prophet getting suddenly a big jump up in items. Gets the Pupil's Gift for some plus 14 strength, a Halberd, and a Ghost Scepter queued up. Seeing on 2.3k health. So suddenly this Death Prophet looks a whole lot tankier than she did earlier.
Yep. Shylock on the Lifestealer is going for Assault Cuirass. He kind of lacks damage right now because he bought the Halberd. And he doesn't really have any farming items, so yeah, his net worth is kind of suffering right now. 5th on the net worth charts.
I mean, do you like the Halberd though against obviously two very single target right click clickers in the TA and Ursa? Obviously it makes sense, but do you think there was a better option for him?
I think it's good. I think it's the best item he could have gotten. I think it's just the kind of role that he has to play in this game. He doesn't need to really be the pos one. Like the Doom can do a lot, the DP can do a lot as well.
Here we go. They smoke up. They're looking to go on the high ground. The Spirit.
That's a
is
good
nearby.
kill.
It's scouting Roche, and they do dodge the Spirit too. If they kill, the ET, that could set them up to take that Roche, and they get the Hex out. This should be a free kill for them. Doesn't look like CDC. You're gonna make any kind of a move. Oh, force up to
that
low
force
ground.
up. It's fine.
Didn't. Oh, he doesn't have Finger of Death.
Yep.
5 position escapes of 5-man smoke gang. Okay, that was unexpected.
Dire's bottom tower is
Yi
under
Fengle
attack.
is his name. It means upwind.
Infest
of
out.
the
They
TA.
got the Doom on the TA.
Wow.
TA melts.
What was he doing? He was farming the Ancients from the low ground?
Alright, we're just there too.
I see a lot of core players get caught up by this bot, you know? Like this bot seeing the tree line from the high ground. Like, there have been quite a number of times that this happened that I've seen.
Well, not the outcome they were hoping for. What was the, you were giving me Chinese lessons. How do you say the Elder Titan's name?
It's Qi Fengle.
What-
Qi is rise, Feng
Okay.
is wind, and Le is just like a slang of like already. So it's like rise win already. I don't know what it means, but I'm sure it means something legit in Chinese, but I'm like my Mandarin is just too bad to know.
Also known as Victoria, as former LGD player.
Yep.
Been on CDEC for some time now, but he was on LGD back in I think 2016, 2017. So
The most experienced player on this roster for sure.
yeah, but you know it's a bit of a fall for him. You know, he was a guy that's played at some big name. He played at TI. He actually got 4th place at TI if you go back to 2017. So you know, playing with the new young squad in this CDEC roster and not getting quite the results that he was used to from his past, but making it work.
Yeah, I mean there's something I find it quite respectable whenever a player like that comes back to play POS 5 in a much worse team, because it is really not easy to wake up every day and kind of like not be inspired to play with these teammates, but I'm sure he finds his inspiration somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy.
As far as this game goes in CDC's hopes, things looking a whole lot better than game 1, where it felt like they were just outstratted, outplayed. They were just the weaker team, and coming into this game too, you know, we felt the story was, you know, CDC, they're the underdogs, they're the weaker team in draft. It's not just about draft, but they're showing a very different story here. They're playing their draft well, have kept things fairly even. I mean, we always look at that indicator at the top, 1K gold lead for CDC, which is basically nothing at 27 minutes. When you see the strategies and how these teams are playing, do you favor either team with where things stand right now?
I think I definitely favor MagMa the later this game goes, just because they have the Doom against the TA. I think as long as they, I mean, if the Ursa manages to get BKB nullifier, then the game gets pretty complicated for MagMa. But for right now, at least, the Ursa is still pretty far away from that, and he doesn't have any farming mechanics, so Ursa's probably gonna be able to finish BKB in this game, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to finish the nullifier. And as long as the Ursa doesn't have nullifier, I think I favor MagMa's late game for now.
And with that second rush going their way, they get some free, you know, axe shards, they get some nice things. Doom up top, they find the Leshrac. There is backup here. Bushwhack not going to help out the Leshrac. Maybe they just look for a deny. Does he go for it? Nope, no opening. Doom just doing too much damage, and with the BKB committed, needs to be careful. The sharpshooter, can he land it with the veil? I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. He blinks to the side, and instead it's the Ursa going down. Lion found the Ursa. He picked him off, gives him a little tip as well. Like the hoodwink there was trying to gun down the Doom, but couldn't find him after the blink away.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what the Ursa is doing in all these fights. Like we see constantly, every fight he's trying to blink in to kill this Lion. Like the Lion is like some 3k player, you know. Like, oh, this guy's not gonna press any spells on me. But every fight he jumps in without BKB, he has to use his ulti because the Lion's gonna stun him, right? So he uses his enrage, he doesn't get a kill on the Lion, and he just dies so easily because it's so deep in the fight. Like, maybe he should have just bought the BKB so he can ensure that he can kill this Lion instead of this Basher on the Ursa, so...
Yeah, it feels like even though he was picked in lane against the Lifestealer, it's not his job anymore to like directly lock down and address the Lifestealer.
Yep.
See how things go from here for his game. This Leshrac struggling to stay alive in some of these fights. Juicy Doom targets in. Well, we mentioned you pick more cores against Doom. He's about to have the double Doom with Refresher Orb on the horizon, already queued up. That's a problem for CDEC.
Yep, I was hoping that the MagMa would do more on these Aegis on Shylock, but they're still kind of playing passive after getting the Lash kill. He finished the Assault Cuirass as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Money changes hands.
Well, he's starting to approach that scary late game Lifestealer point and see where his game goes from here. Has that evasion talent at level 20 as well, so it feels like we're going to have to see MKBs on the range. Yeah, TA's already got the MKB queued up, so recognizing that she's not going to be able to do any damage to this Lifestealer evasion without it.
Yep, the two of them have halberds too on the DP and the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Oh, DP actually has a Blink Dagger now on Dust.
Okay. Now we're seeing more and more just to jump those backlines and get on top, and especially late game when you can transition into those upgraded blinks.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario for the DP is that the cores, the TA and the Ursa jump into your team, and as a DP you jump to the enemy's backline. So you want to dodge the cores because the cores are the one that can kill this DP right now. And if you manage to kill the ET and the whole wing really fast in the fight, there's a free fight for you as a DP. You're just gonna be able to kite the cores after that.
And it also means, you know, the Doom and Lifestealer can deal with the cores. They can Doom one, Lifestealer's got lots of damage, and suddenly ET can't use his Force Staff to save them. Hoodwink's being kept away, no more Bushwhacks maybe.
Yep.
Here come MagMa, feeling confident.
Whoa, YDS! Oh,
yeah. Okay. Miem doesn't get him. He goes for the sharpshooter, but he dodges it with the Force Staff. Oh, he gets nicely bailed out there. The Enchantress saving his life.
Wow, the amount of love.
Very well done to save the Lion there. And yeah, Hoodwink, a bit crazy going in to try and stop that outpost steal. They were not looking to fight.
I'm sure you tip him, right? If you're the line, I'm sure you tip your Enchantress. If your Enchantress does that for you. That's a +5 player right there, man.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You sound like a +5 player. You're just trying to farm tips from your teammate. Is that it?
Yeah, man. Sometimes, you know, you give so much love and all you want is some back, you know.
Spend 30 minutes doing your thing and all you have is 1-4 stuff to show for it in a game, and you make the big play and nobody recognizes it.
Yeah, and the worst part is, right, when calls at the end of the game, they say something like, I don't even know how I survived. And then you're just like, hello? It was me!
Yeah, they just click buttons. They don't actually see what's going on in these fights. These silly cores. Doom, he sees what's going on. He blinks in. He looks for the Doom, but he doesn't BKB. The Bushwhack caught him. He had BKB refresher and got nothing out of that initiation. That's worth. I mean, speaking of tips, CDC should be tipping this Doom.
Oh dear, that's not what you want to see happen. Oh, this Lion is crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Has the Aeon disc. Oh, Acorn shot, and he goes down. The Boomerang was there too. Oh boy.
Okay.
Some crazy stuff going on. And luckily, Roshan is a 3-minute respawn, so they are blessed with a long Rosh respawn. That was sloppy from MagMa.
MagMa doing some Dora gymnastics. Not so sure what's happening.
Perhaps amateur gymnastics, because they ended up with their face on the floor.
Is under attack.
Yep. Oh, the Lifestealer actually has a gem.
Okay.
Bought by the Eng. That is kind of weird.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah,
But Chinese teams do prioritize this gem a lot.
Is it what? It's really just the camouflage on the Hoodwink? What? You're not seeing. There's no glimmers.
Camouflage, I guess,
Yeah. Metal,
for
I guess.
TA trips as well. But I mean, I'm
true.
really not sure. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe they just feel like they're the stronger team right now and they want to close out the map, so they buy a gem to deward everything.
Yep.
Because this Doom has like immense kill threat right now on the map, right? This Doom is like huge. So as long as they maintain visual advantage of the game, this Doom should be able to do whatever he wants.
Yep. See them, like you say, dewarding the map. This trap's always giving lots of good vision, and that's something that they're going to try and take away as set things up for this potential Roshan. Have Enchantress on the MagMa side to always be scouting that out with creeps, and on the Radiant side you do have those TA traps. So both teams with pretty good Rosh scouting capabilities to make their life a little bit easier here.
So I think the fight is right now for MagMa. I think ideally actually what they want to happen is, I actually think they want to start on the Ursa. They want to start on the Ursa with the Lion, with the Blink Hex. Because the Ursa has a BKB. You don't want to let this Ursa use BKB. You hex him, and then you just doom him, and you just kill him. And then you refresh with BKB, and you use the next doom on the TA or the Lash. Doesn't matter. Anyone is fine.
Smoke out from CDC. Who are they going to find? Doom himself is invis. Not sure Radiant see this. They have some sentries on the ET, but no gem on their side.
Is Dust gonna get jumped and die?
Yeah.
That's
He's
Infest.
positioned just out of the ward range. It's like he knows the ward range. Even Shylock is out of this ward range. Like, you can see these pros are like, okay, we know they may have a ward on that high ground. We're not going to stand in the range of that ward.
Yep. Pretty heads up play from MagMa, shutting down the smoke. I think the Ench is gonna walk over and deward that right now, maybe. Oh no, they're smoking up. They're wrapping around.
Round 2. Here comes the wraparound. Rosh back in 15 seconds. Both teams know this Rosh is about to respawn. This was pretty much max duration. Lion with the infest.
No.
Sitting on 3,000 health. Who's he going to find? It's the ET. They blink him with a hoof stomp. It should be enough to kill off the ET. He's got the force up to the side. But oh my god, Doom just got blown up. No BKB. Doesn't get off the refresher Doom. It's a disaster for him. The lifesteal is dead as well. The chase is on. The Lion gets a great Earthspike off, but it's really just to cut their losses. This Doom, he has not perhaps tested it out. Maybe needs a hotkey fix or something, but that's 3 dead, and that's going to be a Roshan for CDEC.
So a big part of the fight was also that the Lash managed to press his ulti, he pressed his BKB, and he pressed the Essence Ring. He pressed everything before the Doom was on him. So he was still pretty much like undoomed when he was in the fight.
Yep. And he's still healing up with some of that life still
yeah.
going through, so.
Yeah, he has the Kaya Sage and the Eternal Shroud, like good shit coming out from CDEC, man, good shit. But honestly, YDS, TZY, man, press your BKB, man, come on.
We're praising his Mars so much, so, you know, it's only fair that we, you know, criticize him a bit here, because
Radiant's bottom tower
all he had to
is
do,
under
pop his
attack.
BKB and find a second Doom target, and that fight could look very, very different. It ended up working out well. They found the ET first. It wasn't the cores that they were hoping for.
Yep, I mean, honestly, the stuns are coming out really fast by CDEC as well, right? I mean, sure, the Doom definitely can press the BKB, but like the Bushwhacks, and I think it was the Lash stun, I'm not sure what caught the Doom there, but the stuns are coming out pretty fast on the Doom to punish his lack of BKB.
Feels like one of those things where it's like, you see why everyone builds Aeon these days, when if you do get hit by one stun, you can just get blown up from full health. Like a 2.5k Doom just dies and melts. Like, yeah, we can sit here and say, oh, he needs to push his BKB, but sometimes that stun from Fog just catches you and you don't get a chance to once you've been hit by that stun.
Yep, he's not even paper, he has 33 armor and
Yeah.
2.5k HP, but he still just disappeared. The amount of damage on this CDEC lineup is insane with the ET. The ET was in melee range as well, that's why I think there was 0 armor on the Doom, that's why he died so fast. Because they tried to initiate on the ET.
Yep. He still gets the plus armor, right? Just confirming.
Oh yeah,
With
yeah,
the
yeah.
ET?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. He just removed the base armor. Yeah.
It removes, exactly. It's still like, what, -9 armor. That's a lot when you've got a TA Ursa. So.
Yep. He had 19 armor when they jumped him.
Yeah.
That's
Which,
still pretty
you know,
respectable.
Yeah, but
Still
this
that
is
really
a level 25 TA now. I mean, this is a 6-slotted TA. Ursa, who is a 3 position, but has all your Ursa items that you need to really deal damage. So, TDC, they're the ones who find themselves pressing forward now. MagMa have yet to find that big team fight off of this
Dire's
Refresher
top tower
Doom.
is under attack.
It's a pretty hairy situation for TZY. I'm sure he understands how much he has messed up in the past like 20 minutes. But he knows, like I think he has understanding. Platinum Doom player, you know, they know that they can just win the game off one fight if they execute it well. But there is an Aegis on the TA now, so I really think they need to kill this Ursa first. They need to initiate on the Ursa with the Lion, so the Doom doesn't feel this pressure to Doom the Ursa before he enrages.
And Ursa, perhaps recognizing that, seems to be always positioning further back, leaving the TA in front. Of course, the Aegis carrier, so they're going to leave that Aegis tier in front. And Blood does have the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, so
Dire's
can
top
play
tower is under
all over the
attack.
map with those psionic projections to kind of TP wherever.
Yep, but the Lion has a gem, so the trap, they can actually camp the trap with the gem and wait for the TA to project to it. And they might actually get the kill on Blood.
The trap bottom, though, is on the high ground, though, so I think it's unlikely they connect the dots there. CDC playing in these Ancients. Here comes the wraparound MagMa. They're going to fight this one. Lion blinks in with a Hex Infest Bomb. They go on the TA. The Doom is there on the Leshrac. This time around, he didn't get off his Pulse Nova. The damage isn't coming out yet. Doom got off his BKB. He gets away. As a second Doom now, who's he going to find? The Lesh is already dead without buyback. Doom goes charging forward with the Shivas. Wants the Ursa, but the Enrage was there because of the Earthshock. With the Ag Shard, he didn't want to Doom the Ursa, and with good cause. The Doom perhaps waiting for the TA. He's not going to get a chance to use it. He got bashed. The Ursa blinked him from behind and bashed him off. Blood going to project his way out of there. Goes just down to the low ground as the chase with the Exim is not going to amount to anything as a TP out from the Hoodwink leads to MagMa feeling like they get nothing out of this fight. All they got was a Leshrac. The TA did die but had an Aegis.
Yep, and now Refresher is down on the Doom. EXO is down as well. The moment this Lash comes up, CDEC might just smoke straight away. I think they have a huge timing right now.
A fight where, you know, yeah, he doesn't get off too Doom, but you watch what Doom does there. It doesn't, he doesn't really do anything too wrong. He gets the first good Doom off on the Lesh. He thinks about dooming Ursa, but can't because of the Enrage, and while waiting for the TA to respawn and throw a Doom on her, he gets bashed by an Ursa. That was just really good play by CDC's Ursa. And you called it. They're going for a smoke. They want to go fight. They know Doom, well, he's also dead for 30 more seconds, so they have a small window here. And Dust, he's caught out. He's in no man's land. He gets picked off with CDC just catching MagMa by surprise.
It's gonna be a buyback, but he has no Exo. This is gonna be a Rex. There's a TP on the outpost as well for the Lash.
Yep. Leshrac gonna be coming back in, has the Flicker to play around as well. Doom gonna be respawning at least. Refresher up in 30 seconds, so he has the one Doom for now. They blink with the line. Start with a Hex, they follow up with the Earthspike. Earthspike catches to it, caught the Hoodwink behind. They throw out the Doom and everything. They want this TA. Can they bring down Blood? He's got buyback, so he can project his way back in this fight if he wants to. And right now, they're doing okay. As nice Infest onto the Lion. That's going to help heal him up, as well as keep the Lifestealer alive. And the TA not winning the buyback sees the Ursa go down. Another two-man Earthspike catches out two, but this Lifetrack is just doing too much damage. Once is just wreaking havoc. Dust without the Exorcism doesn't have the damage himself. And he's just melting. The TA Ursa, they do finally buy back, projects her way back into the fight, and they're going to clean up. Triple kill for once. This Leshrac, you mentioned it, the Platinum Leshrac, and he is absolutely rolling over them. We'll get the GG, and we're going to a game 3. CDC, they're not done yet.
Wow. You doomed the TA, but the Lash is back, and the buyback. But the buyback from the TA.
Yeah.
Very clean.
The TA waited her time before she committed that buyback, but once she realized what the Leshrac was doing, TA saw that Leshrac going like 1 versus 4 and winning. She's like, I don't want this Lesh getting all the credit for the win. Let me get in there. I need some props. And I mean, what a hell of a game in the end for CDC. They bounced back after a game 1 defeat, which means we've got a game 3. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to head to a very quick break, and we'll talk a bit more about this game as well as what's coming up next. We're going the distance. Stay tuned.